Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm going to be talking about some books that I'm going to be reading for the Spring Reading Challenge. This is a 3-month long readathon, which is good because I'm definitely not going to be reading all of these books in a month. Probably won't even get to all of the challenges in the 3 months, to be fair. There are 25 of them. But yeah, this was created by Victoria over at What Victoria Read. I'll leave the information down below, the video explaining it all. I'm not going to be going into every single challenge in here because, like I said, there is 25. I'm not going to pick out a book for every single one, and potentially the ones that I did pick, they might not actually be the ones I read, but you know, I'm giving it a go. We're going to see. The first 3 I'm going to talk about are definites because one of them, well, 2 of them I've already started reading and one of them is from my library, so obviously I'm going to read that one. So we'll go there first. The first one I am leaning towards putting it in the reread category because it's a reread, but some of these books can fit in multiple places, so depending on what else I read I might swap it and change it about. It's basically you read one big book for each of these prompts. And yeah, the reread, boom, How to Be a Normal Person by TJ Klune. I am reading this currently. I read it quite a few years ago on my Kindle, but I got a physical copy for Christmas, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give that a reread. So I am. So yeah, I think this is the first TJ Klune book I ever read actually. It's one of his self-published ones before he became like an author that everybody knows. And this is about Gus, who is a very individual, and him just going about his grumpy little life. And then he meets this hipster asexual guy, Casey, and he wants to get to know them, so he wants to figure out how to be a normal person. So he asks the internet. And it's just very fun and whimsical and endearing, and if you like TJ Klune's writing then you probably can sort of guess how this is going to be just because of the way he writes. But yeah, it's a fun time. I'm rereading it. Boom. The next 2 are ones that I've borrowed from my library via the app BorrowBox, which is on your phone or whatever. Let me just pick this up so I remember what I've put them down for. So the first one I've put down for BIPOC. That's one of the challenges. And this book is One Day Everyone Will Always Have Been Against This. I can't remember what the author's name is because I don't have it physically, but the book's here so you can see. And basically this is a non-fiction and it's about Gaza, what's happening in Gaza, but also about the author and them growing up. I know he's originally from Egypt and then had to move around in different places and now lives in America. So he's talking about his own experiences with that, but also like in the context of what's happening in Gaza. So yeah, I'm about 80 pages into that. I think it's about a 300-page book. So yeah, it's very quick to read actually, considering it is a non-fiction. But yes, as you can imagine, very strong topics, but written in a way that's easily ingestible, if you know what I mean. And then the other one I've put for the prompt borrowed/secondhand, because I'm borrowing it, and that is Heated Rivalry. Again, I can't remember what the author's name is. It's here. I've watched the TV show twice, so I was like, you know what, I might as well read the source material. It was on my library app, so yeah, that one just came in yesterday, so I've not started it yet. But this is about 2 hockey players who have a secret love affair, and if you've watched the TV show or heard of the TV show, which most people have, this is what it's based on. And hopefully it's good, because I do really enjoy the show, so yeah, we shall see. So yeah, now we're going to go into a bunch of other books that I may or may not read, and we'll see if they actually fit these prompts and if I read somewhere else, or we'll see. But anyway, let's just go from whatever's on the top of the stack. So we have this one. This is Lose You to Find Me by Eric J. Brown. This is the author of All That's Left in the World, which I really enjoyed. That was apocalyptic, but this is more normal contemporary, I think, and I'm putting this in the queer rep section of this challenge. I don't really know much about this other than it's like chefing, it's food in. Oh, I could actually put this in food one. There's a food category. What's that? Food on cover. I mean, technically there's some lemons, but yeah, we'll see. It might go in the queer section, it might go in the food section, because I completely forgot about that until I started telling you what it's about. But yeah, it's about chefs, chefing, but also feelings and gay, so that's why it's in the queer section. I don't really know much about it. I literally put it on a wish list because it's by the same author of a book that I really enjoyed, so boom. Next we'll talk about these 2 because they're both from the same series. So the first one, what have I put it in for? Well, continuous series, imagine that. And then the other one I've put Big Book, which is over 400 pages, and that is God's Grave and Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. This is a series I really want to get to and finish and read, and I just really enjoy the whole vibe of it. So yeah, really interested in carrying this on. Basically the first book, it's about this one character and her life goes tits up, and then she's basically training to be an assassin, and it's really good. And I'm not a fan of footnotes usually, but I actually really enjoy the footnotes in the first book because it actually tells you stuff that is necessary in a footnote. Because most of the times when I've read books with footnotes, it feels like it could have just been written into the story and it's pointless. But in Nevernight, which is the first book in this series, the footnotes actually tell you more about the world and the politics and the stuff that's happened in the past that is helpful, but it wouldn't make sense in the context of actually the story. So it's so good, I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, it uses footnotes right. But I'm really looking forward to carrying on this series, and hopefully it's just really good because it started off that way, so we shall see. I don't know if we're halfway in or not, but we'll chuck in a cat clip because I didn't put any in the last few videos because I didn't have any and I couldn't be asked to film any. So boom, have a look at some of my cats. The sun out finally. Is it finally nice weather, Riggsy? Oh, it's not raining for once. Oh, next up, so these three again are three things in the same series, so let's see what I've put these down for. So the first one I've put in for retelling. It's also a reread as well because I've read the first one. The second one I've put in as animal POV, and the third one I've put in as shortest book on your TBR. I don't know if it actually physically is. Well, those books are Fables Volume 1, which is this one. Volume 2, which is this one. It's actually called Animal Farm, which, you know, that's why I put the animal POV. And Volume 3, which is this one. And I put it in retelling because it's basically like all of the fairy tale characters but in a world of their own. So it's kind of a retelling in that sense, I guess. But yeah, I read this first volume so many years ago. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but I remembered that I enjoyed it. And then I finally actually started picking up the rest of the series. So yes, I'm going to actually read some of it, imagine. So that's volume 1, 2 and 3. I couldn't really tell you much about it, like I said, even though I've read the first one, I can't remember it. Who Killed Rose Red? In Fabletown. The Fairy Tale Legends retelling, you know what I mean? Live alongside regular New Yorkers. So yeah, hopefully this one is enjoyable as I remembered it, and then the rest of the series is too. We'll see. Next up I have 2 non-fiction books, so I believe one of them is in the non-fiction section. Yes, and that is this one, The Five by Hayley Rubenhold, and the full title is The Five, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper. So it's basically what it says on the tin. It's about all the women that were murdered by Jack the Ripper. In the past they've just been basically like, oh, here's some prostitutes, and then they got killed, and then everything like that. But this goes into the actual lives of these women, who they were, what they were about. So it's going to be interesting to read like a different side of the whole Jack the Ripper? The whole Jack the Ripper thing, focusing more on the victims rather than the perpetrator. So yeah, hopefully this is good. We shall see. And then the other non-fiction I put in classic because it counts, and that is Endurance by F.A. Wordsley. F.A. Wordsley was the captain on the Endurance ship, and this is his account of the tale. Endurance famously was Shackleton's ship. It got stuck in the ice. They all had to get in boats and sail to an island, and then most of the men stayed there, and then Shackleton and a few other people had to go to a different place and then trek along like a place that nobody had ever mapped out before, and then find a whaling station, and then the whaling station people had to get on a boat and then come back and then rescue all the other men, and then it all went well and everyone survived. But yeah, this is the telling by F.A. Wordsley, who was the captain. Boom. Oh, a fun one, hopefully, maybe, perhaps, we'll see. One of the prompts is random, and I had this little bowl with these little things in that I made literally years ago. I did use some of them, obviously. I was picking like one out a month for a while, and then it just kind of got left on the side. So I have literally no idea what books are in here. I might even have to pull out loads of them until I find one that I haven't even read yet, or maybe luck will be on our side and I'll pull one out straight away and it'll be a random book that I've not read yet. So that's what I'm going to do right now. In fact, I'm not even going to look at the colours. I don't think they mean anything. I can't remember, but, you know, we don't want any spoilers just in case. I pulled this one. It's blue. Let's see if I've read it already. Desert Suns. You can't tell that it says that. Let me try. Desert Suns. When I tell you I've had this book for so long, because I went through a phase many years ago just grabbing loads of indie books. Just like loads of indie books. I went on this indie press and just grabbed loads of indie books, and this one, and the cover is so cringe that it's kind of put me off reading it. So Desert Suns by Mark Kendrick. It's actually a book that I have not read yet, which is insane that it was the first pull. What's it about? Some guys probably. Tight focus on these two characters. Thoughts and emotions, ups and downs of a relationship. So yeah, I'm actually finally going to read this book. The first pick was something I've not read yet, which is incredible. In fact, I think one of the prompts is even read the oldest book on your TBR, and that might even be like close to even that. So, you know what, I'm going to pick a second one just in case. We'll see, and I might read that one as like the oldest book on my TBR, and the second one is something different. So, oh, I just dropped one, but it's a pink one. I know these were just like random books that I never find. Middle Ground. Oh, I don't think I've actually read that yet either. Amazing. It's definitely not as old as that one, so I'm going to choose that one as the oldest book on my TBR prompt. And Middle Ground. Middle Ground. To be fair, this says it's a modern classic, so I could have picked it for classics, but I completely forgot it existed. This is about two males meeting in a Nazi labour camp. So yeah, it might be like really heavy. And because it's a modern classic, when was this released? Let's have a look. 1968, so it is quite a few years old. So yeah, I'm going to pick that one as my prompt for random choice. The other one can be for the oldest book on my TBR. But again, like I said, some of these might be different, they might be changed. I might read this one for my classic, and Endurance might be for something else. We don't know. I'm definitely not going to read 25 prompts. Well, to be fair, one of the prompts is self-care, which can be not book related, so 24 prompts in 3 months. We'll see. I'm spending a lot of time just watching Twitch rather than reading, so we'll see. It's literally what? It's the 9th today, and I've not finished a book yet. I've been reading How to Be a Normal Person the whole time, and also the other one. So yeah, that is several prompts. There are some other kind of easy-ish ones that I could do randomly. I won't go through all of them. You can go and watch the proper video for that. But we've got stuff like food on the cover I mentioned. We've got match outfit to the cover, so depending on what I'm wearing on the day. We've got a book that starts with any of the letters in the word spring, so that's easy. International author, dual or multiple perspectives. So yeah, most of them are pretty easy-ish to find one. One of them's Irish author, and I would have to actually put effort into looking at that, so we don't know about that one. And one of them is a book out of your comfort zone, and I really don't know what to read for that or how to read that, because like, what even is out of my comfort zone? Obviously there are certain genres I don't really read as much, so is that out of my comfort zone? Do I randomly read an audiobook because I never read audiobooks? I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I probably won't even get to that one because I probably won't even finish the rest of them in the 3 months, but you'll be here to see what I do read because I will wrap them up. I've not wrapped up February yet, but I will after this video. So yeah, let me know down below if you are participating in this spring reading challenge thing, or any advice perhaps on like an Irish author, or one of the other ones that I mentioned that I haven't said anything yet. Just say anything down there if you want, because that's kind of what it's for. And yeah, subscribe if you want, like if you want, and I will be back in several days with February wrap up finally. Bye.